On March 9th, Iran launched one of the most significant single-base attacks of this entire war. The target was Camp Buehring, a United States military logistics base that has been operating in northwestern Kuwait since 2003. For over 20 years, no country had ever launched a direct military strike against a base like this inside Kuwait. Iran just changed that. 11 high-value targets destroyed in a single coordinated operation. Fuel tanks, the American helicopter ramp, the command building, logistics centers, core base infrastructure. A massive fire erupted with black smoke visible for miles. Eyewitnesses reported a panicked evacuation from the base in the aftermath, and the timing was not random. These strikes were launched within hours of Iran announcing its new supreme leader. Here is exactly what happened and why Iran is saying its newest weapons have barely been used yet. Camp Buehring supports helicopter operations, fuel storage, equipment maintenance, and supply lines for American forces across the entire Gulf region. It was never built to survive what just hit it. This was not a random barrage, it was a sequenced operation. Drones went in first to soften defenses. Cruise missiles followed to hit fixed targets. Then ballistic missiles struck the helicopter maintenance facilities, the fuel depots, and the command building with precision. The fire that broke out was still burning when the smoke became visible from outside the base perimeter. The IRGC described it as one of its most important single-base operations of the entire war. And the weapon that made this possible is something every defense analyst on Earth is now watching very carefully. The Khorramshahr-4, also designated K-bar. Iran unveiled this missile in May 2023. It is a medium-range ballistic missile with a range of approximately 2,300 miles. That range covers every American installation from Bahrain to Qatar to the UAE, the entirety of Israel, and portions of southeastern Europe, including NATO infrastructure. But the range is not the defining feature, the warhead is. 2,500 kilograms of payload, the IRGC has publicly described it as a 2-ton warhead. That is the heaviest conventional warhead in Iran's entire arsenal. Nothing else they field approaches it. This missile carries a separable, maneuverable re-entry vehicle built specifically to adjust its trajectory during terminal descent. That means it can change course on the way down to dodge interceptors like Patriot PAC-3 and THAAD. The guidance system combines inertial navigation with satellite corrections, tight enough to hit a specific fuel depot or command building, not just a general area. Iranian officials also claim they have cut the fueling preparation time compared to earlier designs. That matters because liquid-fueled missiles sit exposed during fueling. That is their traditional vulnerability window. Faster fueling means a smaller window for a preemptive strike. On March 6th, a French television correspondent confirmed from inside Iran that the Khorramshahr-4 struck U.S. installations in Qatar and Bahrain. In Bahrain, the missile reportedly hit the fuel terminal of the main base supporting the U.S. Fifth Fleet. A massive fire erupted. A separate strike reportedly caused severe damage to the Israeli Defense Ministry complex in Tel Aviv. A third hit a U.S. base in the Emirates. 3 countries, 3 bases, 1 missile type. Now here is the detail that changes everything about how you should understand this war. A senior IRGC official told Fars News that the missiles used so far were predominantly from 2012 through 2014 production years. 31 waves, more than 500 ballistic missiles, nearly 2,000 drones. And Iran is still calling this the opening phase. They have been deliberately holding back their modern arsenal, rationing it for a war they expect to last weeks, not days. The succession happening alongside these strikes is not a coincidence. It is a message. On March 8th, just after midnight, Tehran time, Iran's Assembly of Experts announced Mojtaba Khamenei as the 3rd Supreme Leader of the Islamic Republic. He is 56 years old. He is the second son of the man the United States and Israel killed on February 28th. The process that put him there was not clean. Wartime conditions disrupted normal succession. The assembly debated remote alternatives because an in-person gathering was dangerous under active bombardment. An auxiliary assembly building had reportedly been hit. The objections against him were real. He holds a mid-level clerical rank, not an ayatollah. His appointment creates a hereditary dynasty inside a republic built specifically on the rejection of dynastic rule. The entire ideological foundation of the 1979 revolution was overthrowing a monarchy. His own father reportedly opposed the idea of succession through bloodline. The U.S. Treasury sanctioned Mojtaba in 2019 for representing the supreme leader in an official capacity despite never being elected or appointed to any government position. He has never given a public speech, a sermon, or a political address. Most Iranians have never heard his voice. His wife and one of their children were killed in the same February 28th strike that killed his father. And within hours of his appointment, Iranian state media published an image of a ballistic missile with handwriting on the casing. The words read, "At your service, Mojtaba." The IRGC turned a warhead into a ritual pledge of loyalty to their new commander-in-chief. The 31st wave of missile strikes was renamed Labaik Ya Khamenei, the first offensive operation under Mojtaba's direct command. The missiles and the succession were synchronized. That was not coincidence. That was choreography. The international response has drawn a sharp line. Israel's defense minister stated that whoever succeeded Khamenei would be treated as a legitimate assassination target. Trump told ABC News that Mojtaba would need approval from the United States or he would not last long. Senator Lindsey Graham said it was only a matter of time before the son met the same fate as the father. China responded directly. Their foreign ministry declared Iran's leadership decision was constitutional and internal. China opposed any interference or targeting of the new leader. Russia's Putin pledged unwavering support to Mojtaba Khamenei. Two nuclear powers on one side telling Washington to back off. The United States and Israel on the other side openly threatening the new supreme leader of a country still firing missiles. And Lebanon is now fully in this war. On March 2nd, Hezbollah resumed attacks on Israel, drawing Lebanon directly into the conflict after months of relative restraint. Israel responded with heavy airstrikes across Beirut's southern suburbs and southern Lebanon. Nearly 700,000 people have been displaced in Lebanon since the fighting resumed. 2 Israeli soldiers were killed in southern Lebanon. Human Rights Watch has reported evidence of white phosphorus use over residential areas. This is no longer a contained exchange. Lebanon has been pulled in, and the cost is rising on both sides. Here is where this war actually stands. 31 waves of attacks. Iran still calling it the opening phase. No ceasefire framework, no back-channel confirmation, no off-ramp from either side. The only thing both Washington and Tehran have made clear is that they are not done. And every day that question goes unanswered. What does the end of this war actually look like? The next wave gets closer. Drop a comment below. Who do you think is winning this war right now? Subscribe and hit the bell. This is moving faster than any news cycle, and the next update is coming soon.